The Zephyron war fleet emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the Sol system, their crystalline ships gleaming like deadly jewels against the backdrop of distant stars. Fleet Commander Zalthar watched the blue-green planet rotating peacefully on his holographic display, unaware of the doom approaching from the void. "A primitive world," Zalthar announced to his bridge crew, his mandibles clicking with satisfaction. "Pre-interstellar. They will surrender before the first bombardment." His tactical officer, a younger Zephyron named Creven, hesitated. "Commander, the Galactic Council's archives contain warnings about this species." "Perhaps we should—" "Warnings?" Zalthar's laugh was like grinding glass. "From those cowards who hide behind diplomacy? The humans have barely left their own atmosphere. They possess no energy shields, no plasma weapons, no faster-than-light capability. What could possibly threaten the greatest military power in 3 sectors?" Creven's wings twitched nervously, but he said nothing more. The Zephyron Empire had conquered 47 worlds in the past century. This would be 48. What Zalthar didn't know, what he had dismissed as council propaganda, was that every species who had encountered humanity before had filed the same report. "Do not engage these beings in prolonged conflict. They do not fight like other species. They do not know when they are defeated." The invasion began at dawn over major population centers. Zephyron dropships descended through Earth's atmosphere, their atmospheric shields turning the morning sky purple. News networks worldwide broadcast the same terrifying images: alien vessels hovering over cities, broadcasting surrender demands in broken human languages. The Zephyron expected panic. They expected chaos and submission. Instead, they got rage. Within hours, human governments had unified under emergency protocols. Military forces that had trained for conflicts with each other suddenly found a common enemy. But more importantly, something deeper awakened in humanity, something that had driven them to survive ice ages, cross oceans in wooden ships, and split the atom itself. Humans, the Zephyron would soon discover, were a species that had evolved in a crucible of constant warfare. They had spent 10,000 years perfecting the art of killing each other with ever more creative efficiency. They had written encyclopedias on strategy, composed symphonies about war, and built monuments to remember their fallen. Combat wasn't just in their history, it was woven into their DNA. The first Zephyron ground troops landed in major cities, expecting quick victories against primitive kinetic weapons. They were unprepared for what awaited them. Humans didn't just defend, they adapted. When the Zephyron shields proved impervious to conventional bullets, human engineers worked through the night, studying captured technology. Within 3 days, they had developed electromagnetic pulse weapons that could disrupt alien shields. When the Zephyron deployed aerial drones, humans reprogrammed their own commercial satellites to interfere with alien communications. But it was the guerrilla warfare that truly shocked the invaders. Humans fought from sewers and subways. From ruined buildings and underground tunnels, they booby-trapped entire city blocks. They used the terrain like a weapon, turning their own cities into mazes of death. Zephyron soldiers who had trained in orderly battle formations found themselves picked off by snipers hiding in impossible locations, or blown apart by improvised explosives hidden in debris. "They're not soldiers," one Zephyron squad leader transmitted before his position was overrun. "They're everyone. The shopkeepers, the teachers, the children old enough to hold weapons. They all fight." Zalthar watched his casualty reports climb with growing disbelief. His forces had taken several cities, but holding them was proving impossible. Every building was a potential ambush. Every human civilian was a potential threat. His troops were developing what human psychologists would call PTSD, an affliction the Zephyron had never encountered in their previous conquests. "They should have surrendered by now," Zalthar muttered, staring at the tactical display. "We've destroyed their military bases, occupied their capitals. Why do they continue fighting?" Creven finally found his courage. "Commander, I accessed the full council archives. The warnings. They're extensive. 16 species have encountered humanity throughout history. None invaded successfully. The ones who tried either retreated or were destroyed. Impossible. They're pre-interstellar. Commander, humans have a saying. It's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog." Another species recorded that humans once fought a war that killed 3% of their entire planetary population. and they call it their good war because they won. They glorify struggle. They worship perseverance. Their greatest heroes are those who refuse to surrender against impossible odds. Zalthar felt something unfamiliar. Fear. 3 months into the invasion, everything changed. Human scientists, working with reverse-engineered alien technology, achieved what the Zephyron had claimed was impossible. They cracked faster than light travel. Not the elegant, efficient version the Zephyron used, but a brutal, dangerous method that matched humanity's approach to everything. If it works, use it. The first human warship, hastily constructed from modified spacecraft and alien technology, appeared behind the Zephyron fleet. It was ugly, asymmetric, and barely held together, but it was armed with every weapon humanity could mount on it. Including several nuclear devices the Zephyron had no defense against. The message the humans broadcast was simple: leave now, or we bring this fight to your homeworld. Zalthar knew the humans weren't bluffing. These creatures had actually detonated nuclear weapons on their own planet during previous conflicts. They had proven they would sacrifice anything, including themselves, to win. The Zephyron fleet retreated within the hour. Later, after the invasion had failed and the Zephyron Empire sued for peace, Zalthar would write his own entry in the Galactic Council's archives. It would become required reading for every species considering contact with Earth. We believed the warnings were exaggerations. We believed the humans' technological inferiority made them weak. We were wrong. Humans do not fight to win battles. They fight to ensure their enemies regret ever starting the war. They are not the strongest species. They are not the most advanced, but they are, without question, the most dangerous because they will never, ever stop. As humanity took its first steps toward the stars, the galaxy watched with a mixture of fear and respect. The Zephyron had learned what the Galactic Council had tried to tell them. Humans were not prey to be conquered. They were predators who had finally left their cage